32 PSI is killing your car. That number stamped on your driver's door sticker is not a suggestion. It is a trap that most drivers walk straight into every single time they roll into a gas station and eyeball a number they do not actually understand. You have probably trusted that sticker your entire driving life without ever questioning whether you are reading it correctly, checking it at the right time, or even using a gauge that tells you the truth. Today you are going to find out exactly how your tire pressure habits are quietly draining thousands of dollars out of your pocket, wrecking your fuel economy, and setting you up for a blowout you never saw coming. This is not a minor inconvenience we are talking about. This is the difference between a set of tires that lasts 60,000 miles and one that dies broke and bald in half that time while your bank account takes the hit. Stick around because the very last mistake on this list is the one that has put families in the hospital, and if you leave before you hear it, you are gambling with your own safety. Let's break this down. Number 10. Trusting the number painted on your tire sidewall. That number, usually 44 or 51 PSI, is the maximum the tire can survive, not the number your car actually wants, and treating it like a target is a costly mistake that shreds your tread in half the time. You think you are being careful by inflating closer to that sidewall number, but your suspension geometry and your weight distribution were never built around it, so your ride turns harsh, your center tread bald, and your $700 tire set dies years early. Owners on forums complain constantly about cupping and premature wear, and almost every single time the culprit is this exact confusion between sidewall max and manufacturer spec. Ignore the sidewall, trust the door jamb, or watch your money disappear into rubber dust. Number 9. Checking your pressure right after a long drive. Heat is a silent thief, and driving even 15 minutes builds enough friction to spike your reading 4 to 6 psi above what it actually is when cold, which means you think you are safe while you are actually running dangerously low. This tiny gap feels harmless in the moment, but underinflation compounds every single mile, cooking your tire from the inside through invisible heat buildup that no dashboard light will warn you about until it is too late. A hot reading is a fantasy number, and trusting a fantasy number is how a $150 tire fix turns into an $800 emergency roadside disaster. Check cold, check early, or accept that you are flying blind. Number 8. Relying on a cheap plastic stick gauge from the gas station. These gauges are notorious for being 3 to 5 psi off in either direction, and that margin of error is exactly the kind of gap that turns confident maintenance into a slow-motion money pit. A driver can swear they checked weekly, feel completely responsible, and still watch their tires wear out 15,000 miles early simply because the $15 gauge lied to them the entire time. Consumer Reports has flagged this exact inaccuracy problem for years, yet millions of drivers still trust the free clip-on tool hanging off the air pump like it is gospel. Spend $20 on a digital gauge now or spend $600 replacing tires later. Number 7. Ignoring how fast temperature swings drain your tires. For every 10-degree drop in outside temperature you lose roughly 1 psi, and a single overnight cold snap in fall can quietly steal 3 to 5 psi before you even notice your commute feels different. Drivers assume their tires are fine because they filled them up back in September, completely unaware that a chilly October morning has already dropped them into the danger zone. This kind of neglect is exactly how a TPMS light becomes a monthly annoyance instead of the urgent financial warning it actually is, and ignoring it repeatedly is a gamble that ends in accelerated wear and an 8% hit to your fuel economy. Seasonal swings are relentless, and refusing to adjust for them is a slow financial betrayal you are inflicting on yourself. Number 6. Running the exact same pressure front and rear. Most vehicles specify different numbers for the front axle and the rear axle because weight distribution is never equal, and treating both ends the same is a handling nightmare waiting to happen. A rear-wheel drive car loaded down in the back can be running 7 psi low in the rear for months while the driver has no clue why the car feels unpredictable through every single corner. That imbalance does not just wreck your handling, it accelerates uneven where that turns a full tread tire into a bald liability years before its time. Read both numbers on your door jamb or keep gambling with a car that fights you every time you turn the wheel. Number 5. Over-tightening or cross-threading your valve caps. It sounds small, almost laughably minor, but a stripped valve stem creates a slow leak that will not stop until the whole stem gets replaced for $15 to $25 per tire, and that number climbs fast if your stem is tied into a pressure sensor. Drivers crank these caps down like they are securing a bank vault, completely unaware that dirt and moisture are now sneaking past a damaged seal every single day. This is one of the most common and most preventable money pits in the entire tire maintenance world, and mechanics see it constantly. Hand tight is correct. Force is a costly and completely avoidable mistake. Number 4. Overinflating your tires hoping for better gas mileage. Some drivers add 5 to 10 extra PSI convinced they are squeezing out a few extra miles per gallon, but that tiny fuel savings comes at the cost of a shrunken contact patch, harsher ride, and tread that wears bald straight down the center years early. One driver running 50 PSI in tires rated for 35 bragged about saving roughly $120 in fuel, then turned around and destroyed a $600 tire set that should have lasted 50,000 miles instead of 15,000. That is not a smart financial move. That is a reckless gamble dressed up as frugality. Overinflating for savings is how a small win turns into a massive net loss. Number 3. Letting chronic underinflation slide for months. Running just 5 to 10 PSI low feels invisible because the tire still looks normal and the ride still feels fine, but underneath the surface excessive flex is generating heat that slowly breaks down the internal structure with every single mile you drive. NHTSA data has tied severe underinflation directly to tread separation at highway speed, and that is not a hypothetical. That is a ticking time bomb sitting under your car right now if you have not checked your pressure this month. Fuel economy quietly drops 1 to 2 miles per gallon, tires wear unevenly, and the real danger builds silently until one catastrophic moment on the highway changes everything. This is not a minor inconvenience. This is a life or death financial disaster hiding in plain sight. Number 2. Ignoring your TPMS warning light instead of dealing with it immediately. That light is not decoration and it is not a random glitch. It triggers specifically when your pressure drops roughly 25% below spec, which is the exact threshold where real internal damage begins to set in. Too many drivers see that light, shrug, and keep driving for days or even weeks assuming it will resolve itself, completely unaware that a tire running at half its required pressure is already suffering heat discoloration and structural breakdown you cannot see from outside. Mechanics see catastrophic blowouts every single year that trace directly back to an ignored TPMS light that could have been fixed for the price of a 5-minute air pump visit. Ignore that light and you are choosing regret over a $5 fix. Number 1. Maintaining perfect pressure on tires that are already finished. This is the deadliest trap of the entire list because it feels responsible while hiding the real danger completely. You can check your pressure every single week, keep it exactly on spec, and still be driving on rubber that lost its ability to grip the road years ago because tread depth and compound age are two completely separate problems that perfect PSI can never fix. Tires older than 6 to 7 years harden regardless of tread remaining, and that hardened rubber cannot channel water the way it should, which is exactly how a driver with textbook perfect pressure ends up hydroplaning in moderate rain. Perfect pressure on a dead tire is a false sense of security that has cost people their lives, and no number on your gauge can save you from rubber that has already expired. Now you know exactly why that door jamb sticker matters more than anything painted on your sidewall, and you know why checking your pressure the right way can save you hundreds of dollars and possibly your life. Every single mistake on this list is completely avoidable once you know what to look for, so do not let another month pass without checking cold, checking correctly, and checking often, because the cost of skipping it is never just money, it is your safety on the line every time you get behind the wheel. If this saved you from a costly mistake, hit subscribe so you do not miss the next warning before it costs you thousands, and drop a comment letting me know where you are watching from.